Hello and welcome to Immersive Attractions. Today we are taking you on a magical journey through one of the most beloved dark rides in Europe, Droomvlucht, located in the fairytale theme park Efteling.
This attraction invites guests to float through enchanting worlds filled with fairies, forests, and dreamlike castles. But what makes this ride truly special isn't just its beautiful scenery, it's also the unique way you experience it.
So, let's start at the very beginning with our first impressions of the queue and the boarding process before diving into the magical journey itself. Our journey on Droomvlucht begins as soon as you step through a beautifully themed entrance gate. One of the first eye-catching elements is the ceiling decoration, where plants appear to hang down, already setting the mood and giving you a hint of the magical worlds waiting inside.
However, considering how incredibly fairy-tale-like and detailed the ride itself is, the queue still feels like it has a bit of missed potential. There are some good ideas, especially with the decorated ceiling continuing into the next room, but overall, the space can feel somewhat cold and empty.
When the queue gets busy, it turns into the classic zigzag layout that every theme park fan knows. Especially in the summer, this can become quite uncomfortable, and this definitely an area where modernization or stronger theming could make a huge difference and better prepare guests for the magical experience ahead. On the bright side, the line usually moves at a decent pace since guests board continuously into the right vehicles. The boarding area itself is rather short and simple without much additional theming, but honestly, it doesn't really need it. As soon as you see the vehicles, they are already impressive enough on their own. Unlike a traditional dark ride where vehicles travel along the ground, Droomvlucht is a suspended or inverted dark ride. That means the vehicles hang beneath the track, allowing riders to float through the scenes. This system might remind some guests of rides like Peter Pan's Flight, where the feeling of flying becomes part of the magic.
The ride experience itself feels completely different from stepping into a traditional dark ride vehicle. Because the cars are suspended beneath the track, you don't simply move through the scenes, you float above them. That floating sensation makes the ride feel truly special and adds a sense of freedom that ground-based dark rides simply can't replicate. Since rides like Droomvlucht and classics such as Peter Pan's Flight are incredibly popular, we often find ourselves wondering why more parks don't build suspended dark rides like this. The ride system alone already makes up about half of the overall experience and plays a huge role in what makes this attraction so memorable. Once the journey begins, guests are gently carried through several truly impressive scenes that feel completely dreamy and fairy-tale-like, perfectly translating the idea of a dream flight. From a magical castle rising out of the water to multiple enchanted forests filled with fairies and elves and even surreal, almost cosmic-looking palace worlds, the variety of environments is simply stunning. One thing that really stands out is the sheer scale of these scenes. Especially for a European dark ride, the sets feel unusually large and expansive, making the floating movement even more immersive as you glide through these massive environments.
Another noteworthy detail is the use of scent effects. In the fairy forest scenes, in particular, a beautiful fragrance fills the air, adding another sensory layer to the experience. As a fun little bonus, many of these signature scents can actually be purchased in the souvenir shops at Efteling, often as candles, which makes for a wonderful and unique souvenir to take home.
And then comes the finale, something that not every dark ride delivers in such a memorable way. towards the end of the ride, guests circle above a forest landscape that somewhat resembles the iconic forest scenes from E.T. Adventure.
Suddenly the ride picks up speed and spirals downward in a surprisingly fast movement, much faster than you would normally expect from a dark ride. That unexpected burst of motion adds a touch of excitement and makes for a fantastic, memorable ending to the journey. The exit area is also nicely designed, and of course, just like many major attractions, the path leads directly through a gift shop. Especially for children, this shop is a magical highlight, offering fairy and princess dresses, magic wands, and other fantasy-themed items. It's always fun to see children proudly wearing their new outfits as they continue exploring the park. A clear sign of how well this concept resonates with younger guests.
Overall, even though Droomvlucht may not appeal to everyone due to its very specific fairy and elf fantasy style, it remains an exceptionally well executed dark ride. It likely ranks among the better dark rides in Europe, thanks to its unique ride system and the way it combines large-scale physical sets with beautifully crafted figures instead of relying heavily on screens and digital media.
That focus on practical scenery gives the ride a timeless charm and a strong sense of nostalgia, something that many modern attractions sometimes lack.
Combined with its impressive visuals, carefully used sound effects, and an unexpectedly dynamic finale, Droomvlucht truly does many things right and stands out as a magical highlight within Efteling.
If you liked this video, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell to never miss one of our upcoming videos. And now, let's find the next world to get lost in.